Have you ever felt the whole world collapse on your shoulders and still couldn't cry? That feeling of emptiness so deep that not even pain can escape. That's exactly what happens in one of the most devastating moments in all of anime history. A moment that doesn't need epic explosions or grand battles to completely destroy everyone watching. I'm talking about Guts alone under a blood moon. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine losing everything. Not everything in the figurative sense we throw around every day. Everything for real. Your friends, your purpose, the person you love. Your own humanity being ripped away right in front of you while you can't do a single thing about it. This is the eclipse in Berserk. And what comes after? Man, what comes after is where the real tragedy lives. Guts woke up in a world that didn't make sense anymore. The Band of the Hawk, that family he built after a lifetime of loneliness and abuse, simply didn't exist anymore. Pippin, Judo, Porcus, ... all gone, sacrificed by the man Guts admired most, by the only true friend he thought he had. Griffith, you know what's even. Guts spent his whole life running from connections. He learned as a child that trusting someone meant pain, that getting close to people was an invitation to suffering, and when he finally let his guard down, when he finally allowed his heart to open, the universe proved he was right all along. But that wasn't all. Casca, the woman who taught Guts what it meant to be truly loved, who showed him there was something beyond just surviving and fighting. She was there. She saw everything. She suffered the worst kind of violation possible while Guts, helpless, while held down by demons. He lost an arm trying to save her, lost an eye, lost parts of his body that will never come back. But what he really lost that night had no physical form. Guts lost the ability to dream. Think about it with me. Before the eclipse, even with all the pain from his past, there was hope. There was tomorrow. There was the possibility of building something different, of being someone beyond the mercenary who only knew the sword after there was only the brand of sacrifice burning on his neck, a constant reminder that he was marked to die, that demons would hunt him until the end of his days, that he would never have another peaceful night's sleep. Every time the sun sets, Guts knows something will come for him. And the blood moon, it's not just a beautiful visual element. It's the symbol of everything he lost. Every time it appears red like that in the sky, it's like the universe is laughing in his face, reminding him that no matter how much he fights, how much he bleeds, how much he survives, that night will never truly end. The most impressive thing about Berserk isn't the graphic violence. It's not the grotesque demons or the impossible battles. It's how Kentaro Miura managed to capture the essence of depression in such a visceral way. Guts doesn't cry. Guts doesn't scream at the heavens demanding justice. He simply ... keeps going one step at a time, with a sword too big for one man alone, with armor too heavy to carry, with a past too heavy to forget. But he keeps going. And maybe that's what makes this scene so powerful. It's not the moment of tragedy itself. It's the aftermath. It's watching a completely destroyed man staying back up, not because he wants to live, but because he refuses to give Griffith the satisfaction of watching him die. Rage became fuel. Guts spent years wandering alone, hunting apostles, killing demons, accumulating scars upon scars. He transformed into the Black Swordsman, a legend whispered with fear, a man who made the impossible his daily routine. But inside he was still that abandoned boy, that kid who was sold for 3 silver coins by his own adoptive father, who learned that love was synonymous with betrayal. You know what really gets me about this story? It's that Guts had every right to give up. No one in the world would have blamed him for just lying down and letting the demons take what was left. After everything he went through, any normal person would have completely shattered. But Guts isn't normal. And I'm not talking about physical strength or sword skills. I'm talking about something much rarer. That stubborn spark inside him that refuses to go out, that looks into the abyss and says, no, not yet. There's a scene that always gives me chills. It's when Guts is alone at night, waiting for the demons that will inevitably attack the red moon in the sky. The silence before the storm, and in his eyes, there's no fear, there's no hope, there's only an empty determination to keep existing. It's beautiful and devastating at the same time. Miura once said he created Berserk as a way to explore what it means to fight when there is no chance of victory, when fate itself is against you, when the gods have decided your life is a cruel joke. And his answer, Guts' answer, you fight anyway, not because you'll win, not because there's light at the end of the tunnel, but because fighting is the only thing left, because your existence becomes an act of rebellion against the universe that wants to see you destroyed. That resonates, doesn't it? How many times do we feel like that, alone against the world, carrying too much weight, staring into a darkness that seems endless? Berserk doesn't offer easy answers. There's no magic moment where everything gets better. Guts' trauma doesn't disappear. The scars don't fade. Casca doesn't wake up healed overnight. Healing, when it comes, is slow, painful, full of setbacks and moments of despair. But it comes, and maybe that's the greatest lesson this story leaves us with. That surviving is already a victory, that continuing to put one foot in front of the other, even when every step hurts, is already an act of extraordinary courage. Guts under the Blood Moon isn't just a manga character. He's a mirror that reflects the darkest part of the human experience. The loneliness, the betrayal, the devastating loss. But it also reflects something else, something we often forget exists inside us. The ability to endure the unbearable in you. What was your blood moon?